Update 5.4 has arrived for World of Tanks Blitz and it sees a small number of buffs. One of them is to the SU-122-54, the Tier 9 Russian tank destroyer. It received a rate of fire buff, but was it really needed? We're gonna discuss that and how it affects the gameplay in today's review of the SU-122-54. Yes, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe to the channel. My name is martindogger and I'm excited to have you all here on the channel. If you are a new player to the game, boy, you're gonna be in for a treat. We have mad games coming up, the Halloween event for 2018. I did a preview video on that one, which created a lot of questions, I know, but it was all the footage I was given. A lot is going to be clearer in the future when all the details will be available. I will be doing videos on that one as well, on the new premium tanks, the whole event, so remember to hit that subscribe button. We're nearing 7k of subscribers, which is something of a milestone as well. And we're gonna do reviews of the buffed premium tanks as well, time permitting, and some subscriber replays coming up too. But back to this one, the SU-122-54. I've had it on my main account for some time actually. I've been grinding towards the Object 263. And when I saw the patch notes for update 5.4, then this buff was announced and I was thinking, yeah, why? Is it really needed? Was it really needed to buff the top gun on this tank? Because in 5.3, and the tank hasn't been touched since it was first released, it had a DPM above 3k using AP, 2.8k using heat, and just shy of 4k using HE. Fairly good rate of fire, good mobility because it's based on the T-54 chassis, and yeah, even if you look at the tank, damn, this has to be one of the best looking tanks in game. That machine gun on top, the chassis itself, it looks suitably aggressive but still a bit Formula 1 hot rodish. It looks purposeful. I really like the look of this tank, really do. The camo on this one actually looks good as well. Russians have some of the best camos in game, I think, maybe only beaten by the Chinese. But yeah, we're not going to talk about camo, we're going to talk about the tank proper. And we're going to do full stats and numbers obviously. But like I said, it received a big buff. Well above one round a minute more than it had. And 1 minute more is a lot. You now get 3.7k DPM on AP, 3.2 using heat, and 4.4 if you can shoot HE all the time. You have nearly 9 rounds a minute, and that is without using a rammer and without using any in terms of provisions. So that kind of DPM, that's monumental. And I can understand in a way that might be needed / useful for tier 10 games when you are bottom tier. But when you're up against the likes of an AMX 1390, which I'm going to engage here, I have a bit of problems with the gun depression, and then I shoot, crying out loud, shoot the fenders on the dead AMX 5120, and I miss a shot because I'm a muppet. But the AMX is now reloading, and you can see that's an AP shell. I'm running adrenaline, and there goes another shell into it at 420 average alpha. So he is going to go down there, and there's no way he would have been able to get another shot into me. Just no way. And I think this is a proper tier 8 bully now. I've had the let's call it misfortune to run into platoons of them. 2 of those tanks combined, and if they can really work together as a team, then you have to compete against 8k DPM, so that's a lot, and that's without popping adrenaline or anything else. So yeah, let's take a quick look, full look at the stats and numbers, and then the armor profile, and then we have 2 bottom tier games to finish off. And this time we're going to use Blitz Hanger, Tanks Database and Tips for World of Tanks Blitz. Because it does show very nicely that for now, in terms of tier 9 tank destroyers, this one is the new DPM king. It has better DPM than the Jagdtank, which was one of the best. It has better DPM than the Tortoise, which was already quite good, which is actually pretty good. I've covered this in the Tortoise review as well. The SU-122-54 by no means had low DPM, but you can see 3.7k just using a gun and a 100% trained crew. And if you then fit provisions, take a look at what's going to happen. You get just under 4k, and if you fit a rammer, 4.2k. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's balanced. Not right. What I'm doing then is using this as well. I'm using the improved modules and the optics. I have supercharged, fitted. I think I'm using the improved assembly, engine accelerator, vertical stabilizers, toolbox, and high-end consumables. And especially the high-end consumables. They give you 20 seconds on adrenaline. And if you manage to pop adrenaline, there we go. Take a look at that. 5.4k. There's no tank in the game that can run away from you because you have the mobility and everything else. So brilliant stuff in that regard. Hit point pool, not too bad actually. The view range isn't too bad, 277. As you can see, penetration wise not brilliant, 258, but you have that glorious heat that you can switch to. But 258 will get the job done against weak spots of tanks, against the size of basically all the tanks you will face, except maybe for a Mars. But you can see it's really good. Gun handling, base aim time, really good. Dispersion factors when moving, when rotating turrets, etc. really good. But this is pretty darn tricky, the gun oppression. It's only 4 degrees. You've seen me miss a shot on the T-54. You've seen me miss a shot on the AMX 1390, and it's hard to work that around. So I would advise you to play it cautiously, because although you also have really good mobility, you can see that, the armor profile is not brilliant. It's not bad, because you have that thick gun mantlet, really thick gun mantlet. You have a sloped front plate, but you can see if you are facing it dead on, 142, and this is slightly angled, so that will work a bit better. But a front plate, 142 is just, no, 142 is not a lot. And you have only 4 degrees of gun oppression, so you can only get it to 175 on top. And while this little thingy, the rangefinder, is space armor actually, it's only 20 mils. So yeah, that's not going to cut it. It sticks out like a sore thumb as well. The gun is actually set slightly off center, so you might be able to hide this part of the tank and then the right hand side, the rangefinder and all. But yeah, it's not a brilliant armor profile. And the size, let's not speak about that. 84 with angling. If you have it flat, it's not a tank that can just go in there, juke it out with the heavies, bounce shots, and then expect to live. But what it is a tank that can really go around with the mediums, with the heavies, get the DPM in there, use that, and flank like a boss. It is a really good tank to go flanking if you can preserve your hit points, and that's a rule of thumb with any tank, I know, but especially with a tank like this with not that brilliant armor profile. But if you can get that on a flank and against isolated tanks like that AMX 1390 we've seen just now, you can really wreak havoc. And as I'm thinking now what I said just now about the armor profile, I kind of forgot to mention it, and I'm not quite sure whether I have it in the game somewhere. But that thick gun mantlet is also something you can use. People will want to go shoot your rangefinder on top, they will want to go shoot your weak spots on the left and the right side of the gun mantlet. So if you keep wiggling that and sticking that gun mantlet into their guns basically while you are out of sniper mode, then you can bounce a fair few shots, because it is a thick gun mantlet. You can see the DPM going to work over here. One shot into the T-57 heavy. No idea why he decided to push on, but I can kill him now easily. And with the DPM, with the adrenaline running, there was no way he would have been able to survive. He got spotted early, then he pushed. Stupid mistake, I'm there, and I can now start working on the FV4202. And we can kill him as well. Lovely stuff. 12k damage done, and we are just 1 minute into the game. I can put one shot, I think, into the back of this IS-8. Yeah, there it is. I'm a muppet. So I dunked that one into the ground. Oh, Russian accuracy. You let it shrink completely and it derps into the ground. That said though, this gun is, well, actually pretty accurate in tracking tanks. Oh, brilliant. But yeah, you see me get some slingshot shots in on the SU-122 at Vineyards and that kill shot, and some really quick shot. It's one of those guns which seem to work well if you just swing it around left and right and then track it onto the target, and then it penetrates and hits. And for 20 alpha per shot, it's really good. You can duke it out with a tank like the E50. We bounce that one. He is trying to rush us. I back up right through the side because of that reload. I probably would have been able to get that shot in as well in update 5.3. This one goes in, but there's a tank behind as well. I pick 268, and I actually make a mistake here because I was thinking, oh, that other 268 is probably around the other side. No, he's not, and he tracks me, and I trick him. Thank you very much. 640 blocked. I should have been dead. Really, I should have been dead, right. Waiting a bit, here tanks shoot and then shoot each other, and I'm going to shoot that object, and I'm popping adrenaline again because I know I've got 2 higher tier tanks killed. And I want to get some more kills in, and this one, you can't shoot him, can, screw that, I'm just going to shoot and someone, oh, I'm going to shoot the other one. No, yeah, let's shoot you then. Right. Thank you. Thank you. But you can see in terms of damage done, 4k easily. 4k easily done. That one goes into a rock, I think, and then I actually kill the one, and I had some problems. Well, it doesn't show during the replay, but I actually accidentally opened my Facebook app. So it may seem like, what's Martin trying to do then in terms of aiming and stuff? Why doesn't he shoot? Well, I was switching off my Facebook while my tank was sitting there aiming. That's why. But still, this was the first game I played in 5.4 with this tank. Got a Halonen's medal, first class, and a Top Gun, and nearly 7k, nearly 4k damage, 3.7k. That's the proper pronunciation. God, it's such a bad video at the moment. Really bad, really bad. It's been a long day. It's been a long day, but hey ho. I have one more game for you. Supremacy, Vineyards, and this is more of an action-packed game compared to the first one and the second one. The first one was a really simple game, really. Get a base, capture it, get some sneaky shots in, then kill one of the isolated red tanks. Here it's not a matter of isolated red tanks. You're going to see here that the team is going to spread out massively. I decided to back up and then pass behind that E50M. I knew I didn't have the gun depression. I was thinking I had actually 5 or 6 when I was driving this still. It wasn't until I was doing the review when I realized, God, it's only 4. That's why it's so bad at shooting over hills. That's why I really had to readjust. And it's going to be a prime example of that gun depression issue in this game as well, but that's not what I want to talk about now. You can see the team is spreading out. We have got 3 tanks, that's me and two mediums on A. We have some tanks at the back. We have a tank which is capturing C. That's good. This is what you can do with the limited gun depression you have, and then you can really punish the likes of a WZ-120. And what I'm going to try here is do that again. You can see what I'm doing. Can I slingshot that one in? No, just doesn't connect, dunks into the ground. But I've made my presence known here, and they all know I have that really wicked DPM. If you wiggle about, then you will get bounces. 460 blocked, not bad at all. I've had one where I managed to, with a bit of luck, bounce 2 shots from an IS-7 and 1 shot from a E100. The rest of the game was not worth showing, but it basically entailed me going into a dip into the ground and then angling up that front plate. That can give you some bounce. There's going to be an example in this match later as well. But you can see we are in a bit of a pickle here. Lots of tanks around, including this one, the WZ-120, but look at that. I'm tracking him in place. I'm not even using adrenaline. And I can track him again. With a tank destroyer at 420 alpha. That's just... yeah. It's quite disgusting actually. The lack of gun depression made me shoot his front plate, which was angled up. I can then put a shot into that T-54. He doesn't push onto the E-50, so I wanted to try HE on the back of his tank. Doesn't work, but I can put one shot in. And look what I'm going to do here. Drop low, bounce a shot on, I think, the side of my casemate. But yeah, getting a bounce like that is just good, and I can put one more shot into the WZ-120. Don't kill him. I would have killed him on the next one. But look at the damage counter. 4.3k in just under 3 minutes. That's 1 minute to continue shooting, to just some time setting up. But the rate of fire allowed me to keep shooting basically, and I think if I would have killed 1 or 2 tanks, then I would have had a first class, and if I would have been able to kill a higher tier tank, then I would have had a mastery. But still, I think these 3 games show what the tank can do, and it's really a good tank. I really like it, and that's not something I don't really like turretless tank destroyers, but that's probably just me. So, quick summary to wrap up the video. Camp bush for the first bit of the game to retain your hit points. Pick isolated tanks for a DPM trade because you will probably win. And remember, you have the mobility to support your heavies and mediums. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of this universe. My name is martindogger, and I'll see you all on the next video. Cheers and happy tanking.